Friends, so in the last video we have finished our functions lesson, and in this video we are going to take another topic which will be arrays. Arrays are very helpful for storing data. So they will help us to store really big amount of data in one variable. So as you can see, each topic in Kotlin solve some problem. So the functions will allow us to keep our code organized. The arrays will help us to store some big amount of data in very simple way. So now let's simulate an example to see how we are gonna do this. So if I now ask you to create, let's say, a list of names, okay? So I want you to go ahead and choose 4 names and store them in a variables. Okay, so you will probably do something like this. For example, name 1, okay, and set the value of it to be really any name. Okay, we can, of course, instead of wasting our time, I'm just gonna duplicate this line, 2, 3, oops, and 4, like so, and we are just gonna change the names, right? So oops, and noble, like so. So here of course I need to change these names because we cannot have 2 variables with the exact same name, so that's why we need to change it a bit, like so. So as you can see, we are in order for us to store all these variables or all these names, we have to create 4 variables, right? Now of course this is gonna work. If you are trying to do something like this, it will work just fine. But imagine that you have hundreds of names. For example, you are creating, let's say, a program for a school or for university. You will have thousands of names, right? So this is not gonna work just fine if we planning to store more data. Now arrays come to solve this problem. So let's see that here. If I want to store all of these names in one place, well, I'm just gonna create var names equal to array of, like so, oops, array of, and here between parentheses I can pass all the values that I want. Okay, so array of, it is gonna allow us to store really big amount of data. So here, for example, I just can pass all the names that I have or I want to store the exact same way. Okay, mark, like so. Last but not least, we have our noble friend, like so. So this is how you can create multiple or store multiple items, multiple variables in one place, like so. Now of course this can be applied to integers as well, so I'm just gonna call it ages equal to array of, and we can pass the values like so. So for example, 15, 18, 20, and 23 or 32. Anyways, so we have all these values. Instead of creating multiple variables, we can create one variable and store as much as we want from these elements. Now how we are gonna access all of any variable? For example, I want to access the mark right here. How I can do this? Well, when you are creating an array, so each element here inside this array has its own index. Index, that means the number of the position. So in array we are starting counting from 0. So Ali right here has position or has an index of 0. Noor has 1, Mark has 2, Noble has 3. Make sense? And the same thing apply here. 15 it's with an index of 0, 18 with an index of 1, 20 with an index of 2, and 32 with the index of 3. So how we are gonna apply this in code? So I'm gonna type a print ln, right? Then I'm gonna give it the array name, so names, like so. Then between these two, let's say I don't know how to say it, but however, we can add this type of brackets or whatever, and here we can give it the position or the index number. So if I'm trying to access mark, I can count that 1 or 0, 1, 2. So mark, we can give it 2 like so. And if we are going to run this thing, we are going to see mark being printed to the console. So this index is present the item that I want to access from my names array. And the same thing here, so we can type println ages, and we are going to access the mark age, which will be also 2, so which will be 20. Println it, let me check the spell. Of course everything is correct, so let's jump over, click on run, and we should be able to see mark and 20 being printed to the console. Very good. Of course, I just want to clarify something. Arrays are more than this, but this is the basics of an array. Makes sense? Maybe later on we are going to show you some really advanced usage of arrays, but this is how you really need to this is the amount that that you need to know to start making Android applications. Anyways, the last thing that I want to show you is that how to update an element inside my array. Okay, so for example, I will make names. Okay, I want to access, for example, Noor right here, which has the index of 1. Okay, then I'm gonna set the value of it to be something. For example, I'm just gonna change it to my name. Let's go with my name like so. Okay, so now when I type names for the index of 1, which is the second element, which is Noor, I then reset the value or change the value to be my name like so. Now if I go ahead and type println for names for the index of 1 and I click on run, watch what it's gonna happen. So it should give me my name. So it's no longer take the previous value. Before updating this, so let me show you something. Before I update the value here, I will do 2 console logs. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. Oops. Like so. So what I did, I printed the value of names for the index of 1, which is the second element, before and after updating it. So let's check that in the console. So I will wait for it to compile this thing for me. Come on, it should not take too much time. So this is really weird. Maybe I need to refresh it because it has some problems. Anyways, I'm gonna run it once again, and indeed, so as you can see, what I get, it is Noor, which is before updating it, it comes from this line, and after update the value of it and print it again, we are get Abdul Wahab for the exact same element. So as you can see how you can update. The only thing that you really need to understand from this lesson is how to create an array using var, give it a name, then the value of it, array of, and pass all these elements. Okay, now in order for us to access any element, we can type the name of the array, then give it the index in this way. Make sense? So hopefully that makes sense. This is really basic lesson about arrays. In the next few videos, we are gonna of course explain more about arrays, and later on I will show you real examples about arrays. For example, how you can store list of images, how you can let's say store list of phone numbers, how you can interact dynamically with these elements, how you can update them dynamically depending on certain action, not like this. But this is a basic Kotlin section. In the next few videos we are going to extend our knowledge. Hopefully that makes sense. See you in the next one.